to today's tutorial. You can see that we're about to learn how to make a nose mask. I have my measuring tape, a ruler, French curve, and of course my marker. And of course we also have a pattern paper, but now if you watch, I doubled it so that I can actually get two sides of the nose marks pattern. So first of all, take 7 inches. Please, I apologize that the camera had to show the opposite. I don't know how to explain it. Like I was actually using right hand here, and it's showing that it's left hand, and everything that is, all the figures and everything are looking the other side. So just manage the whole thing for me. So just main thing is take 7 inches square on both sides. Take 7 inches square on both sides. Then when you're done with that, we'll proceed with other forms of measurements. Okay guys, so you can see I'm trying to join the lines together, more like I'm joining the points, the meeting points together, so that we can form a square out of it. And on these lines we'll be taking several measurements to actually form the nose marks. So first of all, when you're done, I'm actually writing out the inches, and you can see what the camera just did. So I don't know, I've been trying to do the correction. So if you know how best to do it, it's actually a phone camera, so I don't know why it's tweeting the other side, like I don't know. So if you have a correction on how I'm going to correct it or setting, I've tried so hard to correct it, but it came that way, so I don't know. So let's just continue. Take 2 inches at the right side or left side, depending on where you're taking your measurement from. Then after that, take 1.5 inches at the bottom line. So just so, exactly, so take 1.5 inches from that corner. Then when you are done with that, we're actually going to be joining the lines. So we'll join the lines here. From that place to this other side, we'll join the lines. Then afterwards, we'll move to the next measurement that will be taken. From the left side, take another 3 inches. Okay, take 3 inches. The first one we took from the right side is 2 inches. Then from this left side, take 3 inches. When you're done with that, you have to join these points too. But before we join, we'll take I think 2 inches here. We'll also take 2 inches here at the top side of the right line. When you take 2 inches, just exactly what we did at the bottom side of the left side is what we'll still be doing at the upper side of the right side. 1.5 inches at the top, you take that too. And when you're done with that, we'll join the lines. So at least for here, for this place, you can see what it is. And those points will be joined. The points we've actually created will be using a French curve. If you have the sewing machine instrument that has this kind of shape, you can also use it. That's the exact one, but I'm using my French curve here. So join the two lines you created recently, and also go back to the other ones you created. That's the 3 inches and the 1.5 inch at the other side, at the bottom side. Also join those points too. We're almost done. It's a simple measurement of a FeSe mask, and for me to know it or get it, you also be able to get it. It's very easy. So at this point, we are done with the front arc of the nose marks. So the next is to take the upper version of this. We are going to be taking 2 inches from this side, and we'll replicate 2 inches at the other side too. So we've taken 2 inches from the right side, we'll be taking another 2 inches from the left side, then we'll join the lines. Is after taking the measurement, the next is to take the ear side of measurement. That's the material, the side, the ear, the measurement that will be tweeting towards the ear. So, but we'll be taking half an inch at this point. On that same line, we created the 2 inches on. We just take an inch. Then you join the line to the 2 inches down below on the um is it the right side now or left side? Just an inch. We'll join it down to where we had the 2 inches. You see where I'm pointing? Yes, down to that place. Then we make that will make the ear side measurement of your nose marks. The ear side. So when you are done with that, we'll have to move to the nose arc. The nose side arc of the nose marks. So that's the upper nose, that we don't have lower nose. So the nose side arc. So there, before that, we have to take 3 inches from the point of the, yeah, from that point. Please note that I didn't start from that place. I kept half an inch. I started from the original point. Do you understand? To take the measurement of 3 inches, and at that point, I'll be using an arc at the French curve to form an arc. So we'll join the 1.5 inch on top to the 3 inches on the second line. So there will be forming the arc by the nose, the arc that will be at the nose side. So yeah, this is the simple way of making this pattern. We are done with the pattern creation. It's as simple as that. So I'll be marking the upside, so you'll be able to identify which side is the up and down. So where I'm putting arrow is the upside. You can see that this camera is really fucking me up now. But all the same, the main thing is, hope you understand it. Guys, this is what it entails. It's as easy as what you have just seen. Now I'll be cutting out the pattern, and hope you understand it, and also know that the seam allowance is included in this measurement. The seam allowance is included in this measurement, and from this pattern you can also create the smaller size of the nose mask. Just reduce it by maybe an inch or 1.5 inch, an inch for maybe a medium size, and maybe another an inch, that's 1 inch for a baby size, that's a small size. So it's just as easy as what you have seen, guys. There is no much difficulties here. Or if an inch, that's if 1 inch is too much, you just create half an inch, reduce by half an inch, then you are good to go. Because you would also want the seam allowance to be there, because by the time you reduce it by 1 inch, it's going to be too small to serve as the medium size. And another one, if you take another 1 inch from the medium size, it's going to be too small for a small size. So just take out an inch, half an inch from this original pattern, and you get other sizes of the measurement. That was exactly what I did. So I'm actually trying to create the points for the seam allowance, so that it will be easy for us to determine the lines we will be stitching on. So just simply place this on the fabric you'll be using. I'm actually using my husband's shirt. It's 100% cotton. And why am I using that? It's breathable, and it's also serve as filter. So it's two in one. So I'll be doubling. But should in case you don't have enough of the material and you feel you don't need to double, you can always get now it's time for us to actually sew. You can always get a handkerchief, a pure cotton handkerchief, to serve as a second layer for your nose marks. That will serve as a filter. You understand? So I'll actually be placing the pattern, as you can see right now, on the shirt. And you can see, of course, the shirt is double layer, you can see. So yeah, I won't have to start placing another pattern, except just this pattern alone has served one of the layer for my nose marks. The second pattern will be a pattern I'll be cutting out that will serve as a filter inside the nose mark. So it will be a double filter, it will be a double layer nose marks. So now I'm working with my pins, and after that we can move ahead to cut it out. Then we head to the sewing machine and then sew up. So this is the second pattern, and this will serve as the inner part of the nose mark. So I don't need an extra filter. This will serve as the filter, and after that you're good to go. But if you are going to be doing like a single layer, one of the pattern is enough. Since you are doubling the fabric, you can see that it's actually doubled. So one is enough. Then you use an handkerchief, or a handkerchief rather. Which one is an handkerchief? A handkerchief. Then see, except if you have any other form of filter material you can actually use, but I'm suggesting a handkerchief, a new one. Then you cut it into size and fix at the inner part of the nose marks, and you are ready to wear. I'll actually be showing how I did mine, because that was what I did for the kids, especially the younger one, so that she doesn't feel so uncomfortable maybe when the double layer material start making her feel hot. So That is what I actually did for my younger baby. So like I was saying, this is a handkerchief, so I just double folded it, then I cut them into size. Then what I did was to just cut sew through, then I then attached on the nose marks. I won't be showing this part because I feel that one should be easily you can yeah, you can easily fix this if that's what you want. But for the other major one that I'm interested in showing, this is what I'll be telling you guys. But I'm actually displaying how I folded so you understand better, and how I cut the handkerchief. This should serve as a filter. And by the time I was done with this, actually I tried it, because there is this analysis that is going on now that if you are able to quench a fire and a on Jesus, if you are able to put off a fire through the nose marks, then it's not authentic. It's not the good nose marks that you can actually get infected through that nose marks. But if you are not able to put off a lighted candle or a fire through the nose marks, then it's a very good one. So I tried that analysis, and it was very good. So it showed that with the use of the handkerchief as a filter inside a single layer fabric or full cotton fabric, you are still good to go. So guys, that is what it entails. And of course I'll be using this elastic band as the ear gear, what we'll be using to attach or to wear it through the ear. So I will be taking 7 inches at this point, and when you're done cutting, make sure it cuts in pairs so that it will serve for the both sides of the ear. And when we are done, that should be what we'll be attaching to the nose marks. Guys, we are about to sew, and at the arc part of the nose marks I'll have to first stitch. I know you've seen a lot of nose marks tutorial, and I know by now, if you've seen, you already know what's next I'm about to do. But if this is your first time of seeing the tutorial on nose marks, you can actually see at this point I'll be sewing the arc first. And sorry about that, I'll be sewing the arc first, and when I'm done with that, then I'll also replicate that on the second layer of the nose mask, which we actually cut out. Then we can now start joining. So that's just a simple way, and I'll also continue with the explanation as we move on. You can see this is what it looks like after stitching. Also make sure that you do a very tight stitches so that you can't have free air, like just to seal up the material, in the sense that it does not become the other type that can actually air can actually pass through, like free air that can quench or put off a lighted candle or whatever, or a lighted candle, whichever English you want to use. But so this is the two patterns we're able to cut, and you can see that I've actually sewn through the arc, and one will serve as the inner layer and the other one will be an outer layer, and the inner layer of course will be a filter. You understand, this is 100% cotton, so I'm confident enough that it will give us the best results we are actually looking out for. So that is what I was actually experimenting right now in the video. So after that, turn the outside parts, or I'm not a just turn it out, the outer part of it, then you stitch. First of all, stitch at the under part, that's the mouth layer or jaw side of the nose marks. Then when you're done with that, you move ahead to the upper layer. That's the um, nose side of the nose marks. You stitch there. Then before we move to the sides of the nose marks, that's the ear sides. So that's just it. So I'll be tacking to easily to enable me to sew quickly. So I've actually sewn that, and you can see how the stitches are. They are tight stitches, so you don't have to be worried about repercussions or something. There are no repercussions for this nose marks actually. So we'll also be doing for this upper side. This is a nose arc side. When we are done with that, I'll also show you how I did it, and afterwards we'll be moving to the sides. Guys, welcome back. You can see that we are done with the sewing the major part of the nose mark. So I'm trying to remove the excess threads, and afterwards we'll turn it inside out. We'll have to turn it inside out, but before we do that turning inside out, I just like stitching the making sure that one of the side of the ear is inner sewn. So I'm actually going to be sewing one side of the ear before I end up turning inside out. But some people at this stage actually turn everything inside out, then they will start folding this one side of the ear in with the elastic band to actually sew through. But I'm actually doing the other version, in the sense that I'll tuck in the elastic band, then I'll push out the mouth, then sew through. Of course, the one side of the nose marks will be like a knee stitch from the inside, while the other one will be like a folded end stitch. So this is exactly what I'm actually explaining. So I'll be using pin to hold it down so that I can actually tack through or sew through. Is I'm done with the sewing of the one side of the nose marks, and at this point you can see that I'm just removing the excess thread. It's very important, and of course you can also cut out the excess fabrics that is on the seam allowance, especially the elastic band, but I think I ignored it. You can as well do that. So I'm actually turning inside out so that we can see how far we've gone, and also to finish up the nose marks, you understand. So that should be it. After the whole thing, if you have a sewing machine, I mean, if you have a pressing iron, you can just simply iron the fabric to be as smooth as it was when we started the tutorial, but I think I'm not really interested in that. Main thing is just to finish this off so you guys can actually be able to practice it. So at this end you can see that we're almost done with the nose mark. So at this point I'm actually going to be tucking in the excess fabric so that we can stitch the that part, but with an extra, with an elastic band that will serve for the other part of the ear, other side of the ear. And if you are fixing this, please be careful. Make sure that the two sides are equal, not that one side of the elastic band is longer, it will be longer than the other. So easy way to actually get to fix that rightly is just by taking the two sides and make sure they are staying well. You can see what I just did. So at this point, I'll just use a pin to hold it down, then I'll stitch through. So this is exactly what I'm trying to explain there, and I hope you understand. So I'm done with the stitching, and of course I'm removing the excess thread, and the nose marks is ready. Yeah, our nose marks is ready. So this is what it is. This is actually a very big nose mask. So if you are going for a smaller one, please try as much as possible to take a lesser measurement, or you cut out this pattern, then reduce by maybe half an inch. Hope you guys understand. Thank you, and we'll be seeing in our next tutorial. Bye. And if you are still going to stay to see me try it, no problem. I'm actually going to be trying. So guys, this is FeSe. Yeah, I need to do something. I needed to fix this nose mask this morning because hubby is stepping out. He wants to go and get some things, and also he wants to get to the office. He's actually working in the financial sector, so he reports to work sometimes. So guys, that is why you can see me making a nose mask, and I'm going to make for the children and for myself. So that is why I did this. Now for this is actually for medium size. Yeah, where I got the measurement, they wrote medium size. So I felt doing a very big size might be on I might get myself into trouble, so I took a medium size. So but when after doing it, let's just see how it is. But I know that it's going to fit him. If it's big for me, it's surely going to fit him. And if it's small for me, if it's my exact size, then he will have to manage it. Then I'll make another one for him. So guys, let's see how it's looking. Okay, it's actually big for me. You can see it's actually big for me, but it will be a perfect size for him. Yeah, it's actually big for me, but it will be a perfect size for him. So this is what it is like. It's falling off. Okay, this is falling off. So if I'm going to be doing mine, I'll be taking 6 inches square. But for him, and if I'm doing for the kids, I'll be taking 5 inches or 4 inches square for the kids. So guys, you can see this is our big size. Let's call this a big size nose mask. If it doesn't fit me, it means this is a big size, large. It seems this is X large. So that is for 7 inches square. Now for 6 inches square, that should be medium size. That's 5 to 6 inches square, that should be medium size. Then 5 inches should be small, or 4 to 5 inches should be small size. So guys, that is what it is like. So I'm going to be showing him so he will try it out for himself. So thank you for watching. That is FeSe doing a nose mask.